Wow, this started quickly. This is Sara Miller versus Jeannie SEAVER. And yes, Sara Miller is from Phoenix.
And Jeannie SEAVER is my old sparring partner from when I first moved to Florida.
Yes, she. We had her in a match earlier in the tournament. She played very well.
Last night.
Yes.
She was on the feature table.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we didn't do the football thing. Didn't win there. No money from football.
And I want to thank both Bobby, Robert LeBlanc, and Mary for sitting in with us and providing some great commentary and history of the game. And it's just a pleasure to have you guys here with us. You know, kind of makes us feel a little bit more legitimate here. So we hope you guys are enjoying it too, because these two are, if there's anybody that can speak for the history of pool, it's both Mary and Robert. And Robert's got a book too. You can check Robert's book. Yes, The Confessions of a Pool Hustler.
It's a great book.
Confessionsofapoolhustler.com. You can check out that book and order that book online right now, if you like. All 256 of you watching. You think if they did that, I'd get a jelly roll? Bobby's good enough guy.
You bought him a beer, didn't you?
I bought him
get a book, right?
Yeah. Well, no, I already have a copy of the book.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually read it when I first got it, like 4 years ago.
me
So I
too.
need to read it again, actually.
It was a good book. I enjoyed it, and plus I knew a lot of the people that he talked about.
Yeah.
And, so it was, and being on the road, I kind of knew. I knew what it was like.
Some of the rooms
Yeah,
and what it's like.
And what it's like.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, Mary, you've been with the best of them, so, and the worst of them, right?
Yeah, I've been with all of them.
With all of them,
I
yeah.
knew them all, good, bad, and indifferent.
The whole bunch.
Yep. But overall, it was a great experience,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Well, that was quite a match between Allison and Monica. I think Monica struggled with the break this time.
Yes, she didn't break as well as she did last night.
No, she didn't.
She wasn't elevating as much as she was last night. I don't know if that made a
What
difference.
a shot. Did you just see that?
Yes, I did.
Beautiful jump
Yes, I
shot
did.
by Jeannie.
Jeannie plays with OBQs. And she's been with them for quite a while. She plays fast and loose. And
She actually
plays good.
She actually has the darts cue, the cue that I have at home. The OB 134 darts cue.
Yeah.
Or is it 135? Very nice cue. I used it a lot with an OB Classic shaft. 9 a.m. I believe. No. Just roll through.
Yeah, you could do the morning shift. I won't be here till the afternoon.
You're like a vampire. You're like Andy.
I'm still on pool player time.
You are. I'm on work.
Nothing ever happened. The only time I ever saw a morning is if I was still up. That's right. Anyway. Isn't Sara?
was a tough nut when he's gambling.
Yeah,
You weren't no easy match.
I know. I always played better for money than I did in tournaments.
I'm the same way.
Yeah. The short tournament race, was always different. Whereas with the gambling, as long as your guy would stay and your money would hold out, I knew I could get there.
That's precisely the difference. Is you play sets with somebody, play in action, win or lose, you can flip the coin again.
Flip the coin, as
and
long as
keep
your money
going.
holds up.
Yeah.
Yep. And as long as they stay.
The tournaments are tough. It's it's kind of
very different. And there's some people that are tournament players and don't do well
in action.
in action if they do it at all.
Yes, I've known those too.
Yep, and there's nothing wrong with either one of them.
No. It's still a beautiful game.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So I'm really happy for Sara to come this far in this event. 64.
She's with Trey Kane.
She's with Trace. She's with Trace
Yeah.
Kane, and they're a wonderful couple.
Yeah, I've known Trey a long time. Long time.
And I'd ask him to come and commentate a little bit. I know what he'll tell me. I'm drinking a little right now.
Yeah,
and it's not he doesn't drink to get drunk, but even if it's one or two, he just
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like Trey. I've known him a long time.
He's a real gentleman.
Yes, he is. And he loves pool.
And he's good too.
Yeah, he plays, especially one pocket. He plays good. Okay, this is still the first game. And Jeannie just kicked. She made a successful kick, and she got fortunate in that she didn't leave much, if anything.
Well, I think she can make this, but it's awful long and
well, I don't know if she can see the ball or she can only see a piece of it. I think she can either has to twirl around.
Let me look at this other angle. Yeah, right. You're right, Mary. I think she's gonna have
she's
to
got to go
call
two
the
rails.
side.
There you go. Two
Call
rails.
the side.
Nice
Oh,
shot.
wow.
Oh, and she kicked it in. Nope.
No, it
almost.
rattled.
Yeah.
I would have
she
called the
scratched.
side.
Yeah.
That's how I play those shots sometimes.
Did she scratch? No, I guess she didn't.
No,
I
no.
thought that was the,
she
yeah, okay.
she got away with it, and she also hooked Jeannie.
Yes, back. She hooked her back. Well, I would do it the same way. I'd kick two rails underneath it. I don't know what can she see that? Is she just gonna feather it? Okay, she did. Okay, nice shot. Huh?
Didn't call that. She's
No.
a little dejected by that. Yeah, it's always a good idea to just call something. In 10 ball.
Yeah, I think that you shouldn't have to call the pocket on a kick.
No kidding.
No, I think if you're shooting, that's different. But when you're kicking, I don't think you should have to call it.
Oh, that was a nice shot by
Especially
Sara.
if in situations like that, Jeannie played a good hook. Sara hit it, got fortunate, didn't leave anything, and then Jeannie kicked the ball in. And she was penalized for it.
Wow. Well,
She made a great bank.
she did that. I was
to
just
that
looking
shot.
at that six
Yeah.
ball. She played a short, like a.
And that was she should have gotten out there. She let the cue ball get away from her there a little bit. She used English on it, and she shouldn't have. She spun the English instead of using just a dead ball with the English. I guess that's the better way to put it. But she's a good shot maker. She underhit that ball. Well, first game though too. The first game jitters.
Well, I know Sara hasn't been on the stream table yet, and just to steal a line from Trace Kane, he said, I don't really want to see her on here until she earns it, or unless she earns it. Don't pull any strings to get her on.
Yeah. That was a nice shot.
Yes.
Now she can play this 2 rails. She can just follow it 1 rail, or she can draw it over to the side. I think it's a matter of personal preference. I think she's going to draw it. There you go.
That's good.
Very nice.
Yep. So that'll be first game.
And she's on the proper side where she can reach it. If she was on the other side, I think she would have followed it.
Sara Miller gets on the board.
Yes, she does.
So, do you get your practice in today at all?
No, I didn't. No, not at all. And
you just rolled out of bed and came right over.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
That's a lot of heart coming out and keeping me company.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I told you I'd come. I just wasn't going to do the morning match. I
Yeah.
can't do it.
Yeah.
Can't do it. It's not on my schedule. You know, I mean, I can't. You know, I go to bed late and I get up late. You know, I just can't change it. In fact, I got up a little earlier than I normally do yesterday. But then I got sidetracked. I was going to be down here earlier, and then had a few problems come up, and so I didn't make it. So, but I was tired, and I went to bed. I was tired when I got home last night.
Yeah. Well, we were just a couple of windbags, weren't we? We just kept on going.
Okay, Jeannie's breaking. Nice break. She let the cue ball get away from her a little bit. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. She made a ball on the break.
Yep, she's got a shot. And I like to shoot this little inside follow and just track down towards this, the left side pocket, the right side pocket. Position for the here. Try to hold position for the 2 in the corner.
I might even hit it with just a center high ball and just come
center
up to
high?
the middle of the table. Oh no, wait a minute! I thought she was playing for the 2. Never mind.
Well, she's rolling hard and fast.
I was wrong. You had the right call. I didn't see the 2 over there. I was playing position on the 3.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would have you been.
Yeah, she overramped a little bit. It's going to take a little bit to. You know, they didn't have much time to play on the table before the match started to get used to the speed. So, all right, Jeannie's jumping again. Oh, and she made it. What a great shot. What a great shot. What a great shot. Well, she's back in action. She's got good shape on the 3 to get to the 4. 5 to 6. It's all laying there. It's just a matter of executing now. Big bounce. Good shot. Just pocket the ball with just low stun.
I really enjoy watching Jeannie because she's a rhythm player, you know.
Yeah, shoots quickly. I like that. I shoot quick too. Slow players make me crazy.
You must have loved playing Morrow.
I never played Morrow, but
did
I
you never
like to
play
watch
Morrow?
him. No, but
I
he's a very
loved
good
watching
friend.
Morrow.
In fact,
oh my
when I
gosh.
had my daughter when she was young, very young, like new.
Yeah.
6 weeks, 2 months old. We had a couple of tournaments in L.A. and Anna
Paez, yes.
Anna saw the baby, and anyway, she became my babysitter. She was always wanted to, and it was nice because I needed a break, and it allowed me to concentrate on the tournament. And
well,
she's made short work of this rack. She's going to draw it up table a little bit. Let's get past the side.
Oh.
Jeannie went over to the Philippines for a little bit and worked with Efren and Francisco.
No
they
kidding.
Worked with her a little bit.
Oh, they must have showed her every room around.
She speaks very fondly and highly
of them,
and of that time, and how much fun she had. But if you notice, she's got that little. When she, her pre-strokes.
Yeah, the little twirl in her backstroke.
And,
yeah,
and that's all Filipino.
That's all. Yeah, that's all Boosty too.
Yeah, right. It's just getting loose.
Yeah. Yeah, I've spent quite some time with Boosty the goat, they call him, Efren Reyes, you
Efren.
know. And you know, it's amazing how they've stayed the same, you know, as far as people, you know,
Yes, they have.
have always been the same, and very consistent people. Efren is, I mean, I have to say, Efren is an action junkie.
He loves it.
He really is.
He
If he can't,
loves it.
if he can't play pool, he wants to play chess. If he can't play chess, then it might be a card game, you know.
In,
And if
in
the-
the old days, in the late 80s,
Yeah.
the first couple of years that he was here,
Mm-hmm.
I remember walking into a pizza place that was right near the pool room where our tournament was,
Yeah.
right around the corner, and they had those checkered tablecloths.
Uh-huh.
And he and Alan Hopkins and Larry Lascotti and one other guy that I didn't know were betting on whether the fly was gonna land on black and white or black
or white?
Yes,
Oh,
and it was
no.
I mean it was hilarious. It was hilarious. You're right. He'll bet on anything. Loves it.
And if there's nothing to bet, he'll go in the corner and take a nap and wait till the bet comes
Yeah,
in.
somebody wakes him up, and
Yeah,
then he just jumps up and plays.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Anyway, I love Efren,
yeah.
and I love Francisco. I just wish they spoke better English because I love to talk to them, and
yeah, and you know,
I have so many questions I'd like to ask him.
Busti is such a gentleman.
Yes,
You know, I
yes.
mean, he really is.
But anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Jeannie must have loved hanging out with
yeah.
with those two
Yes.
guys, and I'm sure she enjoyed meeting a host of other
everybody.
players as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there are so many good players in the Philippines, and you know, we try to get them to come out, you know, as much as possible. It's
Well, Efren and Francisco are older, you know. And the thing is you know, it's so expensive now, and
yes,
you know,
yeah.
and the tournaments just aren't paying that much, you know. To
And some
justify the trips.
of the tournaments are even the entries are way too high.
Yeah.
You know, like 2,000, 3,000
Like the
entry
US
for
Open. I
a
found
one
out
pocket
that
tournament.
The U.S. Open is $1,000 entry now.
Yeah, wasn't it
It used to be 500.
as far back as
And
2
if
years
you
ago
won
or
it-
3 years
and
ago?
if
It was
you won it,
only 500.
You got a free entry.
Mhm.
Well, now after there's there's I don't know how many times have they had the tournament now. I know they had an anniversary. Is it 40 years now?
Yes,
Well,
I
anyway,
think
there's
it
probably
is.
30
Yeah.
of them champions
Mhm, mhm.
that are still alive,
Mhm.
and they would get free entries, and so I think they stopped that,
Yeah.
and that's why a lot of them that are still alive don't come anymore.
Yeah.
And it's $1,000, and then your room is, you know, you got to be there for a week, and so your room is, you know, 1,000 or 1,200, and airfare and food, and if you don't come in the top 3 or 4, you're stuck.
Yeah, you are.
And
Well,
if
you-
you don't have a sponsor and you're footing the bill,
Yeah.
you don't go. Or if you live out here, you know, if you live locally and you can drive, you know, it's too bad.
You know, looks like. Did you order?
Yeah.
I don't mind the. I don't mind the higher entry fees, but it's the the funding of the tournaments and the backing and the prize funds that I think should grow. I think that should grow. I mean, face it,
Right.
we live in modern times, and you know,
The
a tank of gas is $3 a gallon in Los Angeles.
That had $30,000 first prizes. Earl won $30,000 in a car in 1982 at one of Richie's tournaments.
Yes,
and
yeah.
that was 1980s money.
I know.
Now they hardly have a tournament where you can win 30,000. Oh, okay.
Put it on my tab. BUSCH.
Best thing they have here is the boiled shrimp.
All right.
It's delicious.
I'm glad you're here to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to the match. It looks like Lena and Eleanor Collado are on the hill with each other, and Eleanor is she's considered.
Lena's got a tough shot on the 9 to get to the 10.
She is.
Oh, she banked it.
She played a
She made it
bank.
the side.
Oh
Look
no!
at that. What a way to lose.
Wow.
Made it 2 rails in the side, and it's called shot.
And Eleanor Collado's going
left,
to
Eleanor
defeat.
With a very simple shot to win the match.
Yes, this year was the 42nd annual U.S.
Okay,
Open.
so they, I know they've had some people like Earl and Shane. And
Wow, Eleanor Collado has just defeated Line Jorsvik.
Number 1 WPBA ranked player.
Number 1 world ranked player, WPBA. So Eleanor will advance further through the bracket, and her sister Emmeline is also still in it. So we got ourselves quite a lineup for the last 4. The final four on the winner's side will be Allison Fisher, Karen Kaur, Eleanor Collado, and I don't know who won between Vivian and Tina.
I think Vivian, but I'm not positive. Allison and Karen is going to be a barn burner of a match.
Yes.
Do they play tonight?
I wholeheartedly agree. No, I don't think that's. I think we're done with winner side matches tonight. Well, Sara leaves Jeannie an opportunity now.
I've never seen Sara play, but I do know you can't leave. We can't give Jeannie SEAVER too many
No, I'm
opportunities.
seeing Jeannie play.
I know Jeannie's game quite
Jeannie's,
well.
I think she's a little bit dialed in right now. She was also the runner-up. Eleanor Collado was the runner-up in the Chicago event that they had
Earlier this year?
For the NAPT, yes, earlier this year. Or, no, was it the inaugural Chicago event? You have to forgive me because I'm just getting in becoming familiar with this organization. So,
Oh, Jeannie left herself a little straight on the wrong side. It looks like. I think she's got to draw it back to the rail and out again. Yep, that's what she had to do.
Yeah.
Get past that 9.
Pass it a little more.
I think she did okay.
Yeah, I think she did get there.
Very nice.
I'll just bump this in. Oh, wow. She... You know, it's funny. She's playing like a Filipino would, you know.
She plays like a man.
Up and down shape,
Yeah.
2-3 rail shape,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, she strokes the ball.
Yeah. Beautiful work with the rest, playing with the bridge there. It's just, you know, very comfortable with that tool.
Yeah, she's had a lot of practice with it. She's not very tall. I used to tease her about that all the time.
Yeah. Long and straight on the 7. Oh. It fell short by almost a diamond.
Yeah.
Well. Marty Herman. He's in the chat room.
Hi, Marty.
New England Marty.
Yes, Boston Marty.
And he's, he's celebrating that Clenty Cassi and Jason played in the finals of the U.S. Open.
Yes.
Jason made $40,000. That's okay for a couple of weeks' work, he said. Yeah, I agree with that, but it's. Well, we can just open up this can of worms if we want, but that's just that's gonna.
It is what it
It's
is.
one tournament out of potential many more that should be properly funded. I mean,
think it's terrible
look,
that America does not have a well-funded
billiard industry,
men's and women's tour.
Yes. That's basically the bottom line.
Yeah.
I mean, we can nitpick and talk about just tournaments, but that's not the case. It's just a well-funded men and women's tour. You couldn't have said it better. I couldn't have said it better either. So, Sara takes back the table from Jeannie, or rather, Jeannie gives it to her, and vice versa.
She's coming up on her shot.
She is.
She's not staying down on it.
She's dropping her shoulder a little bit as well, I think. That's a common, aberration with pool players. Getting up too fast and dropping your shoulder.
She's got a little bit of a tough shot here, but she should be able to make it. And I think she goes to the rail and comes out for the 10. Oh, she bumped into it. Okay. No, that's all right. She can shoot that on the side. She should be all right.
Yeah, she got bump shape.
That's what we used to tease Robin about all the time.
That's my friend Rhino. Rhino Lay. We're always laughing about his bump shape because he's a ring game player, so he's always getting bump shape because you got to play a ring game. You got to hit the ball hard, Yep.
Yep.
We call it Rhino shape.
Yeah, I mean Robin was such a great shot maker, and a lot of times she would just let the cue ball go and just really bear down on making the ball, and she'd bump into 2 or 3 balls and come out smelling like a rose.
Dodson.
Yeah, and then we used to call it Robin. We'd all roll our eyes and laugh, and she'd look at us and laugh, and we used to call it Robin Bell bump shape.
It's funny.
Yeah, but hi, Robin, if you're listening.
Yeah. I really haven't seen her for a couple of years. She guested on our live stream probably 5 years ago now with Jay Helfert.
Yeah, I remember hearing her.
Yeah.
Robin's very involved with her church. She's found a way to combine church and pool. And she has a small league where people that have tables in their homes, they take turns playing in each other's houses.
Mm-hmm.
And then she has church tournaments and so on and so forth. So she still plays. She just doesn't compete and she gives lessons. She was there's lots of retirement communities in Southern California, especially out there in Orange County.
Okay.
And she put together a proposal to them, and she to teach the seniors, because they all have pool tables in their
Oh, I
clubhouses
see.
and stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so she goes once or twice a week. I think she had 3 or 4 of them that she would go to once or twice a week,
Mm-hmm.
and give lessons, and then she'd buy some little trophies and have tournaments for them at the end of the season. And,
That's great.
You know, and
That's
she loves
great.
it.
Yeah.
She loves it. Robin was always a good schmoozer.
It reminds me of Mike Massey too. He you know, he does a lot of church work with pool as well.
Right.
With I think with Tom Rossman. I think they kind of go out together.
And Steve Lillis and Tom
and
Rossman
Steve
just went to
Lillis.
the middle, are getting ready to go to the Middle East too.
Yeah, doing some
Exhibitions
what do they
and-
call it? Yeah.
Outreach or whatever they call it.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. I'm not religious, so I don't know, but I know I remember Steve from my old days when I first started playing. And
Oh, what a crossbank there.
what a great shot!
Unfortunately.
But she didn't get the shape.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I'm really grateful for things like the NAPT. You know, because we get to see these players. We get to give these players an opportunity to compete. You know, and you know, all of this is none of this has been sponsored by anything. This is a non-sponsored tournament.
I know that.
And you know, it's surprising that with what they can do without sponsorship. Can you imagine if they just, you know,
It's but you know, to
give
get back
the
to it,
pool
it's
world a
so
legitimate chance
sad.
to? Yeah, it
It's
is.
so sad that that America has not gotten behind this game, and we can't just pin it on the billiard industry, because you know most of the billiard industry is mom and pop shops.
Well, a lot of times, you know, let's not go on too much of a tangent, but I think a lot of people come up with that the players have, you know, thrown it away, or you know, the promoters, you know, have taken advantage of it and
Well,
squandered
you
their
know,
opportunities.
there's a lot of
And that
blame
nobody
to
has
fall
said,
in different
nobody's,
directions.
and people have said that nothing major has happened since the Camel Tour and the IPT, and it was a result, and those two things were a result of money problems.
Okay, well, the IPT, I know for a fact that the reason that didn't make it was because online gaming
Sports parimutuel betting.
in the United States was made illegal.
Yes.
So it was aimed at the poker players, but in reality, it really hurt the pool players, because that's what Kevin Trudeau, love him or hate him,
Yes.
he had a good business model. And when the Congress passed that, actually it was just an amendment on a must-pass bill. And once betting on the pool games was made illegal, that destroyed the IPT, because that was where the funding was going to come from, was from the betting on the matches. And Kevin, to his credit, he tried to keep it afloat in other ways, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the Camel Tour, I don't know all the details, but I do know that Don Mackey was a thief from day one. And that's all I'll say about that.
Okay. Yeah. That's all, you know, you have to. But case in point, right? I mean, I don't.
Before day one.
Yeah.
And I warned those guys, because he lied to me, and he lied to me about something very inconsequential. And if you lie about the little things, you're going to lie.
You're going to lie about
the
the big things. Yeah.
That's one thing I've learned about the pool racket. But it was what it was. It is what it is, and it was what it was.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have high hopes for NAPT. I really like that they're organizing these tours.
Well, it's not just the NAPT; it's also the JP Newt, which has been around for a long time.
Yeah,
It's a lot
all of
regional
the satellite
right.
sanctioned events
Right.
around them
Yeah,
and the
there's a lot
tours
of-
around them.
Right, there's a lot of little
The OB
regional
tour
tours,
and
right.
mhm.
And we just have to figure out a way to get some money into it. Can you imagine how many women would come out if we had $100,000 tournaments once a month?
Oh yeah, I mean, you'd have all of China would be flying out
Well,
here.
yeah, that's why the foreigners don't come here any
Yeah,
longer. That's
yeah.
why Jasmine doesn't come and Guy Young Kim doesn't come. And
Mhm.
you know, why should they? It's not worth it. You know, just like it's not worth. You know, it's expensive for us to travel over there.
Yes,
It's
yes.
expensive for them to come here, and especially when even if you win the tournament, you can't even cover your expenses, or you break even.
Yeah.
And so it's not feasible. It's sad. And as somebody that was on the board of the WPBA for many, many years,
You were,
dating
weren't
back
you?
to the very beginning of the WPBA, you know, it's not like I'm speaking out of ignorance. I mean, I know how hard we worked and the opportunities that we had that just slipped through our fingers, and you know, the deals that we thought we had, and then at the last minute they backed out, or this didn't work out, or you know, everybody says, "Oh, well, you needed a marketing company." Well, no marketing companies would even talk to us
Yeah.
because we weren't big enough, and you know, it wasn't for lack of trying. But it was what it was. It is, like I say, was what it was, and it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And but it's just a shame. The good news is that I look around. You know, I remember when I told you last night, a lot of people. You know, there were only a half a dozen of us, maybe 10 of us in the old days that would show up at the tournament. And now, I mean, you know, I see all these young faces. And,
Yeah, I mean that's
you
the
know,
good
it's
news.
great.
The good
It's
news
really
is there's
good to
still
see.
passion for the
Right,
game.
exactly, and
You
they're
know.
accepted.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and they're playing well, and they're
Yeah,
dying to learn.
yeah.
And you know, so it's so on that hand, on that.
And
Yeah,
I know
it's
it's
good to see.
I know it can be also a bitter pill to swallow for some of these pros, but in the absence of ESPN, you've got the live stream community that has still managed to hold this industry up, you know, with
Yeah, at
in the
least-
best
at
way it
least we
can,
can
you
see
know.
it.
And I'm not just talking
Yeah.
about what we do. I'm
No,
talking about
everybody.
you know,
Yeah.
all over the country.
Right.
Lenny, you know, Justin Collett, you know, AccuStats,
Right, Ray Hansen.
Ray Hansen,
Upstate Al.
Upstate Al,
Everybody. I mean.
Kevin Kidd, everyone,
Yep.
you know.
Yep.
And everybody's got their favorites and their not so favorites and whatever. But
Well,
that's
like
all.
I-
That's all
like
part
I
of the
said
color,
last
the
night,
tapestry.
I've got 2 monitors and a big screen television, and sometimes I'm watching 3, 4, 5, 6 different streams. My husband comes in.
I
and,
know you
and,
said that. It's like you're.
he laughs
It's
and
like you're on
shakes
the
his
bridge of the
head.
Starship
But it's
Enterprise,
like, you know,
right?
I mean, you know, it's so nice, especially you know, as I'm older and I don't get out as much as I used to,
Yeah.
and everything. It's you know, it's nice to see some of my old friends, and I see a lot of the new faces. You know,
So anyway, let's get back. Look at this tough shot that
stacked
goes
up
right
in
in.
the trees.
Ding, ding, ding. That's like you see people shoot shots like that, and be careful.
Well, we talked about that last night. When you're jacked up, you have to. It has a tendency to overcut, so you have to undercut
Ah, yeah, we were talking about that last
when
night.
you do that.
Mhm.
And I remember showing that to Jeannie a
Yeah.
couple of years ago. And
That was a nice out, very nice out. So the score is.
3-1.
I may have made a scoring error here, and I apologize.
Oh, I think it's 3-1. We'll see when Jeannie gets
To
out
Jeannie,
of the way.
yeah. Jeannie, step away from the scoreboard. I need to see. It's 2-2. Yeah, it's 2-all. So if anybody's interested with NAPT events and NAPT becoming sanctioned by the NAPT to hold more events, then please visit playnapt.com. I'll put the link in the chat room, and you can also click on the link in the description of this video. playnapt.com.
And the brackets for the tournament are below the live stream feed also, right?
Yes, and you know, if you're just curious and you want to message anyone at the NAPT, check on their Facebook page as well, facebook.com/playnapt. So nice.
Nice speed.
Yeah.
It's one of the first things that I learned when I started working with Buddy and Blackie was most of your shots you want to bring the cue ball to the center of the table. And I noticed that Sara does that well.
Well, you know, the way she plays, you know, she's a 9-foot table player too. You know,
See here, back
she's
to the center of the
yeah.
table.
I'd be curious to know, actually, maybe directly from Sara or from Trace. You know, how often do they play each other or help each other with their game? You know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I mean, look, she's very proficient.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, look at that position.
Yeah.
That's excellent position.
It looks like she knows, in her head, she knows what to do.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just that sometimes
The body says no.
Right. Yeah, the body doesn't cooperate.
Yeah, my body says no all the time.
That's the way it looks to me.
Yeah.
And I know about that.
Starts with the eyes.
You know.
Starts with my eyes. They say no. The eyes lie sometimes. Actually, no. The eyes say yes when it really means no. Oh, that was not. Look at her.
Yeah.
Speed is good.
She's smoothing out. She knows how to play.
Oh.
It's just a matter of playing her game. It looks like to me.
Very similar styles of play. Both these players, you know, as far as pace, you know, and demeanor at the table, you know. She's a little straight on this, but I think she can stun up, or she might be able to just hold this. A little slide stroke. Yeah, she held it. And she just come around 3 rails, get flat on the 8, and create a little bit of angle for herself.
Yeah, she's fine. She's fine. This is natural.
Yes.
Just go underneath the 10. 1, 2, 3 rails. And back to the center of the table. I find that, you know, that was good advice, because I find that most of the time, I'd say probably 80% of the time, that's where you want to be. In that band in the center of the table.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Between one diamond on each side.
Right. Yep. Right across.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice speed. I would just hit this with a high ball, maybe a touch of inside to make sure you don't scratch. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice.
That was beautiful out.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Folks, the finals of the Hard Times One Pocket is going on right now. Wayne Pullen is who's he playing? Maybe Santos, I think. So if you like one pocket, well, it says Garcia.
Wayne's a very good player.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Garcia.
No, it says Santos and Garcia, so I'm gonna get a double check
Santos
on that.
plays good too.
So it's 3-2, Sara.
Not really sure if, okay, Sara can see the right side of the ball, but which may be enough to make it, but I don't think she would want to because she flirts with the corner pocket scratch. I think she'll try to overcut it. Oh, she could hit the whole ball. Okay, never mind. Boy, a ball sneaked right through those two balls there and let her see it.
Uh-huh.
She left Jeannie a shot, but it's a tough one.
Yeah.
And she left Sara a shot, but she left her in the trees, which makes it much more difficult.
Boy, this is an ugly rack.
Yes. I think you just concentrate on making the ball, and cue ball should probably bump into the two.
Wow, that was a nice shot, jacked up.
Yeah.
She bumped the two away.
Well, she's got the
she can back cut. She back cut it.
Corner pocket.
Yeah. Just past the 7 there.
But look where that.
Look what that 3 is. It's in Monica
always,
Webb's spot.
Yeah, it's always on one side or the other of the pocket, the side pocket on either side of the table.
Yeah.
Almost every game.
Yeah, I know. Andrew Murphy asking how long the NAPT has been around. Only about a year. They had their inaugural event last year in like January or February or something. And they've already had 5 events across in different parts of the country. Chicago. They had one in Southern California or Northern California.
That was a great effort. If she would have made it, she's had a nice bank on the 3.
That was me, just you're coughing and choking.
Nice shot. Bumping the 3 out. I think you just follow this with a high ball and you should come back up for the 4. Way too hard. Way too hard. Well, just going to shoot the 4 in the same pocket. This is a tough one. But if she can make the ball and stick, she has a medium difficulty shot on the 5 in the side or the same corner. Well, it's a moot point now, and she left Sara with a pretty good opportunity to run the rack. I think you basically just stay in the same area. You might want to follow it up a little bit, but basically just same area. Shoot the 5 in the side. You either roll up on it and shoot the 6 in the corner, or bump into it and shoot the, or you can shoot it that way too. That was my third choice. It's too slow on the, too slow on getting it out. These are laying pretty nice. I think you hit this with a little bit inside, just like that. Beautiful.
Wow, she's channeling you.
Yeah, well, she's playing. I mean,
she's playing the right shot.
Yeah, I mean, I know how to play. I just don't always execute it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm Efren's quality know how to play, but you know, it's right most of the time. Hey, I beat Cotton 5-3 on the calls.
Yes, that's true. And Cotton's gonna want a rematch.
He's gonna want a rematch.
I've got a little action tonight lined up.
You do?
Yeah.
With Al?
No, well, yeah, maybe with Al.
Yeah.
Tonight over at I don't know where we're gonna play. Possibly at Putters.
Putters, yeah. I haven't been there yet. I know I need to get over there, but I just don't get out much anymore. You know.
I know his game though. He's gonna ask me to bank the 9, but I don't want to play him on a bar table.
Well, he plays on the big table. Plays on my big table. He's one of my sparring partners. Well, she missed and made things very difficult for Jeannie. The 8's in a bad spot with that 10 there. What a great shot. That's one thing that Jeannie does pretty well is she banks. She held that ball for the 8 too. What a great shot that was.
Uh-huh. She's a talent, this one, you know. I'm not going to lie.
Jeannie is generally known as, you know, they have a Florida tour, Florida Ladies Tour.
Uh-huh.
And Jeannie wins most of them.
I can see why.
Well, she does. She wins most of them. And there's a couple other girls that give her a little bit of a, give her a challenge on occasion, but for the most part, I'd put up Jeannie's record in the tournaments against at least the 10 years I was down there.
Okay.
Jeannie won more than 50% of the tournaments. I think closer to 60, maybe even 70.
That's good. That's big.
Yeah. And she has a sister, Vanessa. Ness, who plays almost as good.
No kidding.
Yeah.
This is like Eleanor and Emmeline from San Francisco.
Yeah.
Wow, a twins smash up. How about that?
And Ness is
I see an
older.
action match in the future.
Yeah, Ness is older, and but Ness doesn't have the same want to as Jeannie does.
Not as much desire.
Yeah, Jeannie loves to play.
It's the same with Emmeline Collado. She has less desire than Eleanor.
Yeah.
She enjoys her work, you know. She has like this job where she is of service to the community, so it's important to her.
Well, unfortunately, a lot of players have to make a living. And even though they may want to play pool full time, they just can't. You just can't afford to.
Yeah, you need to fall back nowadays.
Right.
You need to fall back or a backer.
Yeah, and the backers are far and few between today. That was a nice shot.
Yeah. Also very impressive. Sara actually made 4 balls on that break. Oh no, she made 3. I see. I just saw the 8 in the corner, Mary.
Well, you probably were snookered by the.
I'm snookered by my tripod.
Yeah. Post.
You're absolutely right. I am.
And the same color, you know, so they kind of blend in.
Oh no, that was almost a very
Jeannie's
good
not
combo.
playing her game. I'm seeing her make a lot of uncharacteristic mistakes today.
Have you? Well, you talked to her yesterday too after her match.
First time I've seen her in a long time since I moved.
How? What was she? Did she give you any feedback yesterday on her?
No, not really. We just talked a little bit about. I told her I was surprised to see her here and glad to see her.
Yeah.
And then she told me she's got a job where she works 4 days a week, so she has 3-day weekends. So she had to. So she left a little early for this one. But you know, she's been playing in a lot of events in Florida.
Yeah.
But she just doesn't seem. She's not playing the same game that she's played last night. But neither did Monica.
Yeah, Monica Webb. I
mean, Monica played flawless last night.
Yeah, she
Virtually
was.
Flawless.
She was
Yeah.
very,
And
very
Jeannie
strong
played,
last night.
very
yeah.
well last night, also.
Yeah.
And consistency is tough to achieve, and that's one of the things that separates the champions from the people that play as well.
Right. That
but
struggle with their plateaus.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
You know, that's the thing too, is that it's that plateau that we're always. That's how I like to play. I like to reach a new plateau every. You know, when I get to a certain plateau, I know it, and then I just start reaching a little higher.
And that's how you improve, by the way. You don't improve in a steady trajectory uphill. Your improvement tends to go in plateaus.
It's nip and tuck.
Right, you
Yeah.
stay at that point for quite a while. Some are longer than others, and then boom, you go up to the next level.
It really is. It really is.
And that's one of the things that makes it hard, and why a lot of people
End up
stick
quitting.
with it.
They
right.
end up quitting,
They don't
yeah.
stick with it because they don't see that rapid improvement like you see in other things that you do. Pool is very different.
Look at the cue ball. Just won't stop.
Yeah.
Well, I'll miss you, Mary, when I go back to Los Angeles. And it's good to know that I've made a new friend here.
It's always nice to put a human face to a Facebook face.
That's true.
When I go
Unless
to,
it's a stalking
that's
person. Unless it's a stalker.
But generally speaking, yeah. When I go to Derby City, for example, I see as many people, old friends, as I do Facebook friends. People come up to me all the time and say, you know, I'm so and so. I'm on your Facebook friends list,
Uh-huh.
and you know, and some people I recognize their names, other people I don't. But you know, you know, it's always nice. It's always nice.
Well, Sara is giving
She's giving Jeannie a
Jeannie,
tough wake up.
yeah, she really is. It's
Yeah.
like a wake up call. And actually, I don't think Jeannie's playing terrible, but
No.
you're right. Something is definitely different than yesterday.
She looks tired.
As I as I yawn.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, you know, playing these events.
And also, you know, Jeannie, you know, she flew all the way from Florida to come here,
Yeah.
and you know, 3-hour time difference, and with some people, it really makes a difference.
That was a good break. Very good break.
Yes.
Oh, that one ball slithered in. And this should be okay for, I like this, play the short side of the 3 ball. Wow, she spun stroked that.
Yeah, she really didn't have a choice.
Well, I think she could have
And I
got
think
away with that playing
Stretch got her
3
too.
rails around or 2 rails
I
around.
think the 4 had her. The 4 or the 10. I don't think she could have done that. I could be wrong.
She's just playing safety here.
Yeah.
Boy,
She needs to tighten up and stop taking. She needs to start playing safe more and stop trying to make the tough shots because she's not making them today. So you know, that was one of the things that I had to come to grips with.
was that all tough? How did you learn that? Do you remember the moment,
By getting
the day, the
butt
match that
beat
happened?
lots of times.
Yeah.
And
Did someone say it to you too?
no, it just, you know, like I say, I hate to lose, and
Yeah.
I'd go up to my room and I'd lay there all night long replaying the match, and you know, and it finally hit me that when those tough shots aren't going,
Uh-huh.
you have to play safe. And you know, I've always been a very offensive player. You know, I always was on the offense, but and it wasn't until I came to grips with that. And it's hard, you know, especially if you like to shoot, you know, and you've been successful in the past shooting. You know, it's hard to make yourself play safe. But you know, after you do it 2 or 3 times to your opponent and knock them out of their rhythm,
Uh-huh.
you know, it changes the course of the game in a lot of situations.
It's funny you talk about all the qualities of a good pool player, a champion pool player, and I don't have all of them, but you know, I do. I listen to what you talk about, and one thing I realize that kept me in the game for so long is that I'm just stubborn. You know, like I'm stubborn. I don't want to stop flipping the coin against this. I'm stuck like 6 sets, and I still got to figure out a way to beat this guy.
You don't like to
You know,
lose.
oh, you know what? All of my losses, stubborn or not, they were all. Now, in retrospect, I have the gift of retrospect, you know, and I still play. So now I know when I have to quit, and I know when the guy I'm playing needs to quit. I know all that's, you know.
Well, Jeannie just really reached deep and pulled a win out of that. And
Yeah, she did.
she
did.
came with a couple of tough shots and tied it up 4-4.
Yes, sir.
Sara took a break, and Jeannie is testing the speed of the table because she's overhit.
She did overhit
Many
several
balls.
times. Yes, yes.
And, this particular table,
Diamond with Simonis.
well, it's not that. It's the location of the table. It's by the door.
Yeah,
By
that's
that
true
front
too.
door. And it's a little cooler than it was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And when it gets colder, tables speed up.
They do. They certainly do.
And in Vegas. Now, in other places, it's the opposite. Like in Florida, when it gets warm in the summer, the tables get more sluggish.
Because of the humidity.
Because of the humidity. But in Vegas, the humidity is low. And that door has been swinging in and out, opening and shut
All day.
all day long.
All day.
And on that table. And it's cooler here today than it was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it has affected the speed of the table. And I think that was what threw Monica off today, and it's what's throwing Jeannie off. And I don't know if you noticed, but Allison was on that table almost a half an hour before her match.
She was practicing, yes.
Testing the speed and just playing different shots, running out, this and that.
Yeah.
And it showed in our match. I mean, Allison's a great player anyway, but she didn't make too many speed errors.
She didn't.
She had it dialed in. And
it reminds me every time I see Dennis Okoye at a tournament. What does he do? He goes to the TV table and practices the break. Even when there is
when he's not on TV.
when he's not on that
Right,
table,
'cause he knows he's gonna be there eventually.
he knows he's going to be there eventually. He's assuming that he's going to be there,
Yes.
looking for the spot to break on, And I mean, it's almost automatic. As soon as he gets to the room, where's the TV table, and let me go practice the break.
I remember years ago, I had my pool room, Utopia here in Vegas, and there was a big match. And it was Earl Strickland versus Mauro Paez.
Okay.
And Earl was giving Mauro the 8. And it was either 7 or 8 ahead.
Okay.
And the bet was 20,000. Of course, with all the side action, and by the time the match went off, it was for a lot more than that.
Yeah.
A lot more.
Yeah.
But anyway, we had the World Championships here in Vegas, and that's how the match came up. So they want to play in that week after the World Championships. So Earl just stayed here, and Mauro went back to L.A. Before he left, both players went to my pool room, and they picked out a table, agreed on a table to play on, and I recovered it for them.
No kidding.
Yeah. And even though it didn't need it. And 'cause normally what we do is, before the big tournaments, we would recover them. But we had a big tournament like a month or so before. But anyway, I asked them if they wanted new cloth. They both agreed. I said, okay. So Ernesto recovered the table for them. Anyway, long story short, Earl came in every night, like 1 or 2 in the morning. And I racked for him on that table, and he started on the, I think it was the right rail, and would break the balls 2 or 3 times, and kept moving the cue ball over, an inch at a time.
Yeah, looking for the spot.
He found the spot. It was
the sweet
almost,
spot.
Right, and anyway, and so now he kept putting it there, and it was dialed in. And Mauro never showed up until half hour before the match and began to play, and Earl won the lag. Mauro won the first game. Earl got a shot in the second game. I think it was 8 ahead. And it just rained balls.
Wow.
Because he knew where the break spot was. And the match was over in like an hour and 10 minutes. I was sick because the place had been packed all for 2 days the whole time. I was making money hand over fist. But it was over in an hour and 10 minutes because Earl took the time to come in there and find the break spot.
Yeah. Great story. One that should be remembered by everybody listening.
That was in 88 or 89.
So let me ask, without
89.
getting too personal, why did Qtopia close?
Neighborhood changed.
It slowed down?
It went bad. The government
Oh.
came in and made all the, just to back up a little bit. When my ex and I decided we were going to open a pool room, we looked at the demographics of the city. And there were 2 places. Now, Vegas was very different. We're talking about the late 80s. There were only like 250,000 people here.
Old
maybe
Vegas.
300,000
Yeah.
people here, 1988. And we went down to downtown and looked up the demographics. You know, in those days, no computers. And we found that the 2 densest concentrations of population in this city at that time were on the corner of Twain and Swenson, and here, where Griff is.
Oh,
Bull Sharks.
yes.
And we liked, it came down to the 2 spaces, and both of these shopping centers were fairly new, and they were half empty.
Mm-hmm.
And the space that was available for us at that time was the corner where the marijuana dispensary is, and into
Now,
the first
yeah.
third of this building. This
Yes.
square was not open at
Yes,
that time.
yes, yes. I was told that.
Okay, so anyway, the corner was open. And in the other place where we ended up, it was a nice, clean rectangle. And, you know, I cut out little rectangles, and, you know, and I tried to lay out both places. And the other place, where we opened up,
Mm-hmm.
turned out to be the best location I could fit because of the configuration of the poles. And
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
I did the same
I
thing.
couldn't fit as
I
many
did the same thing
tables
with
in the place.
Ken Oshide when he was
Okay.
trying to expand his room,
Right.
and which got cut short by this new owner that came in. And so, but we had little squares,
Yeah.
and we were putting them on the
To scale.
blueprints
Right, to scale.
to
Yep.
scale,
Yep.
and you know, working with Kenny to figure out where the new tables were going to go.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
that's
go
how
on.
I ended up over there.
Because you realized you could fit more tables there.
More tables,
than here.
and the layout was just more conducive to, you know, it was just a better layout.
Yeah.
Anyway, so long story short, in 1995, I think it was, HUD, what happened is HUD Housing came in and they made all the apartments in that area, Section 8, and overnight it went from, lots of dealers and young marrieds or roommates or, mostly young people. Young people play pool. Single people play pool. Anyway, it went Section 8, and immediately the neighborhood changed, and went bad. Lots of drug dealers, and anyway, long story short, and if we would have came over here, we might still be here.
Uh-huh. Now, you were open about 18 years?
We opened in mid-88, and I got out of it in 97. And my ex tried to keep it open for another couple of years, and eventually he closed it in 2000. So it was open 12 years.
Mm.
I got out after 9. But anyway, but for the first 7 years, except for Detroit, we had more action in our place than anywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
We might have had more action. Detroit just had bigger action.
Mm-hmm,
Less action, but bigger.
Yeah, yeah.
But, everybody came to my place. For years after that, I'd go
Right,
to tournaments. No matter where in the world I went, I'd see my shirts, T-shirts, and jackets everywhere. Every once in a while,
I still
else,
see Qtopia wares.
Every once in a while, somebody will send me, Mayor, look what I found.
Yeah.
And they'll shoot me a picture of their T-shirt.
That's great.
Yeah. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, it looks like Jeannie's catching a gear. That was a hell of a shot there.
Yeah, well, this is, that spin, that 5-ball spin, she's good at that shot.
Mm-hmm.
And she had a little practice at that shot earlier in this match.
She looks like the Jeannie that I know. And I think Sara made a mistake taking that break because it gave Jeannie a chance to spend time on the table. And
Absolutely.
Get the speed down.
She well, what did she do? She stayed.
Right.
And she just started banking balls and
just testing the speed.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, this was a long. This one game was very long, actually. So.
Jeannie takes the lead, I believe, for the first time in the match.
No.
But did she have 2-1 or was it?
No, you're right. It was 2. Yeah, she tied before and then lost the lead. Yeah, lost that again.
Yeah.
So it's now
5-4.
5-4 Jeannie.
Break.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy with her game. That's for sure.
Main thing I would tell myself is just make sure that I don't scratch.
Well, that was a beautiful break, and only to find herself hooked on the 2 ball. But you know, she opened this match with a good jump shot to the same pocket.
Yeah, but I don't think she can jump this one. I think that 10 is awful close to the 2 ball. I don't think she can jump this one. Nice shot.
Yeah, and that's a very
nice.
good shot.
Very nice.
That has almost 3 cushion knowledge attached to it.
She said she spent a lot of time in the Philippines working on safeties.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Boy, it's going to be Boosty and F are going to have a hoot when I mention that I met Jeannie SEAVER. They're probably going to say, "You didn't gamble with her, did you?"
She's got a long shot on this 3, but I think she's all right. She should be able to just go 2 rails.
Follow out.
Or pop it. Yeah, she's going to go 2 rails. Nice.
Oh, she's going to have a nice angle here.
She got 2 straight.
No.
Yeah, she did. 5's over here. She's got to draw it back. She's got to really stroke it to get over there. Oh, I guess she was better than it looked.
Yeah,
okay.
I
She looked to me on this monitor like she was almost straight in.
well, you know, with that punchy stroke, I was feeling good for her.
Yeah. Well, she's hitting the ball nice now.
She is. She's cueing well.
Her timing is
She's cueing
good.
well. She's very good with her rest, so I don't see any problem with this shot. Sara, she's probably thinking what you're saying, you know.
Plus, I can tell
why did
by
I take
Jeannie's
that break?
face, I know that look.
Yeah.
She's determined.
Is she Philippine or is she American Indian?
She's
she looks Native American.
Well,
to me.
Her mother, I believe, is Chinese.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And her father was American. Well, he's got an American last name. You know, maybe he was a Filipino with an American last name. I don't know. I really don't know. I only know her mother. Her father passed away.
Okay. Okay.
Before I got there, so I really don't know. Like I say, I know her mother's around here somewhere. I know
really?
I know she's watching the match.
Maybe that's her.
Somewhere.
Is that her?
No.
You've met her mother?
Yeah. Oh, here she is, right here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, sitting with Robin. Yeah, it's her mom.
She's calling the bank.
Yeah, she banks well. But I don't know if I would. See, I don't know if I'd shoot this.
I think she's trying to cinch it a little. Yeah, to play safe.
Okay.
Yeah. Like Tom Rossman always says,
well,
if you're ever gonna bank and you want to
Make
play
sure you
safe, bank short.
short.
Yeah. Dr. Q. I learned so much from his 2 videos he did. I learned so much. And I can't believe I forgot the title. Something about banks, kicks, and everything you wanted to know about safeties. Something like that.
He's being inducted into the Hall of Fame next month.
Yes, yes, yes.
That was a good shot. Jeannie's looking to see if she can jump. Yeah, she's.
She massaged it.
And sold out.
Yeah. Well, Sarah's got a legitimate chance here. That's good. This will tie it up too, so it's still anybody's match if Sara you know,
all she's got to do is get to the
closes
center of the
this.
table.
Yeah.
Let's see if she does that. Nice. A little long.
How do you feel about? I don't know why this popped into my head, but how do you feel about conceding the 10 ball or conceding the 9 ball?
Never.
Mm-hmm.
Never.
Never.
Never. Never. I have seen too many people. Well, just
Alex Pagulayan 4 months ago at the World Cup of Pool.
I didn't see that, but I know that in the WPBA it was you just didn't do it.
Yeah.
It was not
BCA
only did you
stipulated
lose that game,
yes, you'd lose a game.
You'd lose another game. And also, I've seen too many things happen. I've seen people. David Howard. This was in the Disneyland tournament in the mid '80s in Southern California.
By the way, did you see what happened?
Yeah.
Sarah missed the 8.
Yeah. I know she did, just like that. But anyway, David Howard and Danny Medina. It was a hill match, great match, and David Howard, the 9, was hanging in front of the side, and David one-stroked it and was kind of celebrating as he shot the shot, and he miscued. And Danny just leaped out of his chair. Anyway, it cost David Howard not only the title, but I know those two weren't doing any savers. Cost them,
any business.
Right. It cost them. And I've just seen too many people miss. I've done it myself where I just, you can't believe you missed it, but you do. And I remember the last tournament I won was in Detroit, and I was playing Dawn Hopkins, and she got out ahead of me. I wasn't really playing my game, and she had me 8-6, and the 9 again was a simple shot into the side, and she missed it. I mean, I was, I'm on the loser side. I was supposed to be out of the tournament, and she missed it, and I said, wow, So I jumped, I had ball in hand, I made it. I made it on the break, and I had a 3-9 combination. I mean, all of this happened within like a 2-minute span.
Wow.
Boom, boom, boom. And my next match was Vivian, and I'm pumped. Hi. And I beat Vivian, played Belinda, and I missed the 9 against Belinda. Went back, had to play Vivian again, beat her again, and then went back to the finals and beat Belinda 11-0.
Wow.
And meanwhile, I should have been out of the tournament.
Yes.
Dawn
because
missed a hanger of a 9
and
ball
you didn't
the
concede
side.
the 9.
Right.
Yeah. Well, there you go,
Never.
folks.
Never.
Another valuable lesson. All
Never.
of you should be taking notes
Never.
when you watch this.
And the thing
Sara,
is, too, is, I always, even when I practice, like Al and I, when we practice, we always shoot the 9.
Yeah.
Because I want to get used to shooting that 9. Even if it's hanging in front of the hole,
That's true.
I want to shoot the 9.
That's true.
I get pissed when people let me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't give me anything. I can mess up anything.
That's like, when you shoot the 9, you also want to play position for an imaginary ball.
Well, that's what I do.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Because
I try to bring my cue ball to a certain.
Yeah.
I just pick a spot, and I try to concentrate on bringing the cue ball there.
Sara, you okay? I mean, Sharon. Sharon O'Hanlon. You want to know, I've met 50 people like in 48 hours, right?
I'm
50
awful.
50
I'm
new
awful
names.
With names. I'm awful. I remember faces, but I'm terrible with names.
12 I already knew, but the other...
Hell, people I know, I can't even remember their names half the time.
Yeah.
We met a few years ago.
Many moons ago.
Oh, you and Mary?
A long time ago.
At least 20.
Yeah, minimum.
So
I know who my history is.
I think Sarah played a
tried to
billiard.
play
She
it
played the
safe.
billiard there. I think
Yeah.
she played the
So
billiard
you play the billiard?
to
Yeah.
the 9. Yeah. Because she's
Whatever
not
she
safe.
Did, she sold out. And
And-
position's natural to get on the 2.
Jeannie's on the hill too.
Yeah. And these are all laying pretty nice too. It's I don't see any problems here.
Yeah. Well, here she's a little. I think she's a little straight, Mary. She's very straight,
could be.
actually. She's
Could be.
pausing on this because she's thinking about where she not. Is she gonna have to spin? See how straight she is there?
Yeah, I could see. She was in my way. I couldn't
Yeah.
see her. Now I see her, but I think she'll just draw back to the rail and either stick it or draw back. Okay, she stuck it. She's
playing
gonna
to
shoot
the-
it up the corner.
Yeah. Wow. That's
But if she makes
that's
it,
a lot
she's
of
out.
heart, you know.
Well, you gotta
That's
do
good.
what you gotta do.
Yes, you do.
Nice shot. Bingo. But she's feeling good now. She broke out of, she was struggling in the beginning and she broke out of it. I mean, she's not out of the woods. She still has to execute, but there's no real problems here. Nice shot. Nice shot. Very nice. Very nice.
You know, she can taste blood right now. That's what she's.
Yep. Yep.
She's.
Nice. Nice, nice, nice.
Well, this is not perfect here.
Well, she can